We continue with the ongoing saga of Xylund and Gayle adventures in Loreholt.
Limpy.
Limpy. As he prefers to be called in his current incarnation. In today's episode, entitled Happy Muladan, Xylund continues, Limpy continues his scouring of Loreholt for allies, information, and some indication of where to go next. He gets to meet an honest-to-goodness scholar, embarrass the living crap out of Gayle, which is always a bonus, commit light burglary, learn a little history, and meet a character whose capacity for alcohol rivals his own. It is definitely an amusing chapter in the story of Limpy, who is preparing to exit Loreholt after leaving his calling card. We hope you enjoy, and a happy Muladan to you all. Of course, hiccups immediately.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'll edit out these first few seconds.
You will not. I'll put money on that. I'll put a whole freedom dollar.
Well, I'm not going to now because you didn't believe me when I said it.
Okay, then I rescind my freedom dollar.
What?
Damn it. Alright. Freedom dollar well spent. Okay, so the continuing adventures of Xylund and Gayle. Intrepid duo. Xylund actually got a butt ton of stuff done last session. He almost got his ass kicked. He got to dress up as a mule. He got to walk around Loreholt. He got to go talk to the Mark. And see Uther again.
On my walk back to the inn, Xylund will compose the song Taking Care of Business, tie on brocade, and he'll sing it to himself.
Alright. Let's see, what else did you get accomplished? Oh, you found what might be Marin's old home.
Probably Davin's dad's place. It was probably Orin the Bard.
All good theories. And now we've ended up at the Dragon's Damsel once again, the swinginest pub this side of the Ironhelm Markets, where Gayle was doing what he does best, which is not stare at tiefling bartenders' assets and attempt to rally some nerds to your cause.
Nerds!
So as we pick up this adventure where we left off last time, Xylund has just entered the Dragon's Damsel. This is after dark, so it is even busier than when you were here earlier in the day, as folks have gotten off work and closed their stalls and such not. But Gayle has crammed him and what appears to be a companion into a small corner around a table in the back, attempting to have some sort of conversation among the din and noise and general carousing of the pub.
I'll sidle over there.
Right.
Taking care of business.
Through the sea of people singing taking care of business. You get to the little table. And you have to, again, there's two much larger round tables to the, sort of at either side. of where Gayle has smushed him and his guest, just packed with people. And there's live music going, so it's super loud. It's very difficult to carry on a conversation, but he is doing his damnedest. As you approach, he doesn't seem to notice you as much as he's focusing on trying to talk to his companion. They're less than a foot from each other at this point, just trying to make each other heard. He is talking to a dwarf, likely female, although gender is always a little tricksy when it comes to dwarves.
Does she have a beard?
She does. And very traditionally dressed. She has long, all of her hair is kind of a dirty blonde color, sort of settling more towards strawberry blonde towards the ends, but it's all very traditionally braided. She's got the gold cuffs in it. Same thing with her beard. Her beard is very carefully plaited with glass beads and stuff in it. It's not overly expensive, but it's obviously very well maintained, and the braids themselves are very traditional for dwarves. She wears a kind of a reddish cloak on top of a slightly different shade of red robe, and she does have a clerical symbol around her neck. It doesn't look gold; it looks more like burnished copper. And it's a symbol of the Firefather. It's a Torlor.
Torlor.
And she does have, her hands are resting on the table, and you can see she does wear rings. Again, nothing too gaudy, nothing too, nothing much more than middle class, and probably cheap knockoffs of that. So, but be very pleasant expression on her face. Seems to be mildly amused at their lack of conversation as Gayle tries very, very hard to have this conversation with her in such a noisy location.
I'll just sort of loom over them, smiling at them both, waiting for them to acknowledge me and for Gayle to introduce me.
Let's have a charisma check on that, please.
Okay.
Look at all that charisma. You're the least charismatic paladin I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad. I'm not good at anything, really. Like, I'm okay at strength, but I'm not exceptional at anything. I'm very mediocre.
Make up for it with style, I think.
Yeah, where would I be without my style? My sweet
All
style.
I have, my sweet style. Need to watch that episode again.
Torlor. Says it's Galda's Firefather. Oh, there he is. Never mind.
Yeah,
Torlor is the spark spirit.
Yeah, Torlor is the hammer itself. That's the name
gotcha.
of the hammer. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
All right. So eventually, it's not Gayle, but the companion that notices you in your ever so charming stance, and wordlessly sort of pushes out a chair so that you too can crowd around this tiny ass table stuffed into a corner of the pub and attempt to have a conversation in a building that's way too loud for it.
I offer my hand. Xylund, I say.
And she says, "What?"
I mean, Klazam's Limpy Slazaram.
And she looks even more confused.
Limpy!
She kind of nods, like, "Oh, okay." And Gayle just immediately turns just beet red and is just motions for you to sit down. Just sit down.
I sit down.
And kind of points to her. This is
Wait,
Rana.
I spin the chair around so it's facing backwards, and then I sit down.
Oh my gosh, you and your sweet style. Okay. Yeah, he points to her and sort of like theater projects above the noise. Says, "This is Rana."
Limpy!
Gayle shakes his head. Same as Xylund.
Just blew my cover, man.
Just continually shaking his head. You don't have a cover.
I will when I get more ashes. So, you're with the Firefather.
And she nods enthusiastically. Yes. Are you one of the faithful?
I'm not unfaithful. He seems like a good dude.
He laughs. Gayle is, of course, more mortified than ever. Just don't talk about gods, man.
So, you're a friend of Gayle's.
She kind of nods. And then Gayle starts talking really, really fast, as if to drown you out in front of his companion here. Like, he's a follower of
Are
Brennan.
you two an item?
He just instantly is like, just shakes his head. He's with Grennan. Just don't. It's fine. It's fine. And he looks over at you, like shooting daggers in your direction. God damn it, man. Beat red. It's now creeping down his neck. You can see, where his robe sort of cuts away at the shoulder. Like it's even gone that far. This is going to be a full body blush by the time this conversation's over with.
Sorry. I didn't mean to cramp your style.
Don't have a style. And he clears his throat, looks at you meaningfully. Rana helped me when I was here before.
Oh, good.
She's very smart. She's into history.
Oh, nice. We are also into history. Gayle and I. I was just at this house up in, it was in Noble Garden, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was wondering, it's an older house, and I was wondering if you knew anything about the history of it. And I described the house to her and described the symbol over the gate, or wherever the symbol was.
Yeah, symbol was embedded in the gate.
Okay.
It was sort of stylized to the point where you had to look for it, but it was actually sculpted into the gate.
Okay, sculpted into the gate itself.
And she thinks about it for a second. She kind of nods. Like, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Maybe you should take me there so we can talk.
Okay.
Kind of stands up and starts to
wait.
wade her way through the bar.
I'll meet you outside.
Gayle stands up and starts to walk after her and looks back at you.
I'm looking at is there a fire lit in here?
Oh yeah.
How lit? Like roaring?
Like big lit, yeah.
Is there like some kind of fire poker or fire shovel nearby?
No, there aren't any tools on display, probably so patrons won't hurt themselves.
Is it possible for me to stick my boot in there and kick some ashes out?
I mean, I guess you could, but there are two big tables nearby, so it would be difficult to do unnoticed.
I will smile at them. Wait, what am I going to carry the ashes in? I don't want to don my disguise right here in the middle of this crowded tavern.
I love how committed you are to this.
I go to the bartender and I ask if I can rent a bowl. I need to take it outside, but I'll return it. Also, can I rent a room here tonight?
And she smiles and laughs and says, well, if you just want to rent a room, there's wash basins in your room.
Okay.
Would that work?
Yeah.
Okay, but don't steal it or we charge you extra.
No, I'll bring it back.
And she just kind of laughs. Because that'll be a gold.
Everything's a gold in this goddamn town.
Especially when you're an obvious tourist.
I'm about to go poking in your fire, don't be alarmed.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm about to go poking in your fire, don't be alarmed.
Why would you do that?
I need some ashes for a project I'm working on. I won't take all of them. I'll leave some for you and your other patrons.
Because that's the biggest concern here is lack of ashes. All right. She hands you your key.
I jog up to the room, get the wash basin out of there, lock the door, jog back down. Thump, 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 thump. Go to the fire, kick some ashes out, scoop them up in my bowl. Oh, do a smile to anyone who's watching me with consternation.
Okay, go ahead.
Yay! Jesus Christ.
So all of these drunk ass people are watching you stomp up the stairs, stomp back down with a wash basin, and clean the fireplace with it.
While smiling awkwardly.
Yeah, exactly.
And visibly sweating.
Putting on a shit-eating grin and having flop sweat just roll off you. Needless to say, that would be a story for the evening, as various tables discuss it amongst themselves. But I mean, nobody challenges you on it. The barmaids are a little concerned, and they appear to be discussing who exactly served you and how much was served before things got to this level. But you are able to actually leave with the ashes. Nobody's willing to get in your way at this point.
Okay, good. So
you walk
meet
out
them
of the
outside.
inn.
I find a shadowy corner, doorway or an alley or something. I beckon Gayle to follow me.
Sighs audibly.
Yeah, let's try to do a better job this time. Make sure that I get the ashes just on my face and not on my
We're gonna do this
clothes.
now?
There's a bounty on my head.
She's standing right there. What do I tell her?
There's a bounty on my head. Wait, maybe not. Tell her I'm a mule, only I'm very light for...
She just met you.
So? I mean, I'm very light for a mule, but it's a mule holy day, so I want to attend the mule festivities. But since I'm so light-skinned, the other mules will reject me. So I'm disguising myself so I can fit in. After we sort this house out, I'm going straight to the Muladan festival.
She's a dedicated member of the Church of the Firefather, and you're telling her there's a mule holy day that she's not going to be aware of?
Called Muladan.
Muladan?
It's a big old world.
Yeah, I'm not even going to argue with you anymore. There's just no point.
Just tell her I'm on drugs.
I think that's going to be the answer. Okay. So he's just let me tell her. Just, I don't want her to think it's weird that I'm sneaking off into an alley with you. Just stay here and let me think of something. He sort of darts out of this little alleyway. And comes back a minute or two later. She was the only person I could get to come out here on such short
I'm super
notice.
grateful. But I do have a bounty on my head. We have to,
Okay. Shh. Quiet.
Help me with these ashes.
I'm doing it. And he is. He is
Makes you...
very resentfully applying these ashes to your bald head. Probably rubbing them in a little harder than necessary.
That's alright.
Not that he's super strong. So, it's like having a puppy whap you.
So I'll draw the hood of my cloak up. My shitty cloak.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll head out to the manor.
Alright. So you leave the alleyway back to Rana.
I'm not even gonna try a charming smile. No,
yeah.
I will. What the hell?
You're gonna do a charming smile? Okay. Hey! A little bit better. Just charm is not with you. You know why? Because you can't do any drugs.
Yeah, maybe.
And that Bro King wears off, you're gonna be in big trouble.
Still got a couple or a few hours.
You got some hours left. So she kind of gives you a weird look as the two of you emerge from the shadows. But Gayle, whatever he's doing behind you, she starts to open her mouth and then shuts it again and just sort of smiles. And says, "Okay, so the house then."
Yeah. We're really grateful that you came out, by the way.
Oh, sure.
If there's anything we can do for you.
No, it's nice to be out on the town. All the real, bigwigs and stuff, they get cooped up. I'm just a student, so it's nice to get out for a little bit.
The streets are emptier than I thought they'd be on Muladan.
You get her brow furrows for a second. You can feel the wind as Gayle is making some form of hand gesture behind you. Okay. We don't see many mules. At least not in town. Just kind of nods to herself as you guys walk through the Iron Helm markets. Down to Noble Garden. Now there's still foot traffic. There's still foot traffic in the markets as people, go back to the various pubs. There are some shops that are still open late. Not very many, but some. Noble Garden itself, of course, never really shuts down because houses of lady favors are needed at all hours of the day and night. So,
do we pass the place we stayed at before?
You have not, no.
Okay. If we do, I'm going to point it out to Gayle.
Okay. Any particular reason?
Just to make him blush more.
Oh my god, you're going to embarrass this poor kid to death. I'll never make it out of Loreholt. He can never come back to Loreholt now.
I'll be like, Gayle, that's where we're staying tomorrow night.
Oh god. Just spontaneously combust. You know he's never leaving Greylock again, right? Like, as soon as he gets there, that's it. He's like, I'm home. I'm not leaving again.
I'm going to give him the choice to stay there if he wants to, but I'm hoping that things will... that when it comes down to the actual decision, he'll realize that he can't live without me.
I think it's the other way around. I'm not sure you would survive without Gayle.
No, I'd be fucked without Gayle.
So you wind your way through Noble Garden, and since you were just there, I won't make you roll intelligence to find your way back. Yay. But Rana is asking questions as you make your way through to Stone Alley. Just what brings you to Loreholt? What's your interest in this house? Gayle wasn't super...
Well, a friend of mine is looking for his father, and we've heard rumors that he has a home in Loreholt, an absentee father. I was thinking, like, we don't know much about the guy, but it sounds like this bard I've been hearing about, Orin, kind of famous around here.
Oh, yeah.
He might fit the bill. I don't know if you know where he lives in town, but I thought this house that we're heading to might be a good candidate.
No, I don't know where Orin lives. I believe he does live in Loreholt, but I've seen him play. Well, I suppose he's an elf, but he doesn't seem old enough for children. But you never can tell with elves, I guess.
That's true. Actually, that would be illusion magic, wouldn't it? For what's his face? Davin's father to disguise himself.
It would depend on how he did it. If it was like a magical item or a disguise self spell, then yeah, it's considered a magical effect and it wouldn't work here. If he could shift naturally somehow, like how furbolgs can change their physical characteristics, or if he were an out and out shifter, or he had some innate ability to change his appearance, that probably wouldn't be affected.
Okay. Well, that'd be cool. Maybe then Devin could like control it. He could go more dragon or less dragon at will when he grows up. Comes
Yeah,
future Devin.
that's kind of the weird thing about this whole parentage is there's not a whole, according to Gayle anyway, not a whole lot of documented information, at least not that Gayle was privy to, about that particular genetic pairing. So he's not real sure what Davin's dad could do, and in turn what Davin can do. We'd have to get back to a proper library.
Anyway, even if Oren doesn't live in this particular house, I have a feeling that it's connected to the family somehow. So I'd just like to know a little bit of history. Maybe it'll help us track him down.
Okay, well, history of Lorehold is kind of my thing. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I hear it's pretty tough with all the fires you guys have around here.
Well, when your government likes to burn things down and then the people retaliate by burning more things down, it is difficult to preserve some type of records, but thankfully the records of Lorehold are carved in stone, not kept on paper. We do have something to go on. And she follows you all the way to the mansion that Giselle took you to before.
Oh, I don't know if this is a faux pas. Well, it probably is. But I heard that most people with brains are indentured to one of the gangs in town, but that doesn't apply to clerics, I assume.
With braids? Is that what she said?
Braids. Brains, no brains.
Oh, like, brains.
With anyone with skills. Of any kind.
You're not wrong. I am clerk to several individuals who work for the Eye. And she flips back some of her braids and pulls back both her cloak and tunic a little bit, and she's got the same brand mark on her neck that Sia had. Pretty small. Like from afar it would almost look like a birthmark, but it's there.
That doesn't bother you?
Not really.
Are you free to leave Lorehold if you choose?
There are different levels of freedom. I could, if I wanted. But the men I serve here are good men and well treated. I have everything I could want. Not so bad.
Have you met Balbir Diamond Eye?
Have I met him? No. I've seen him once or twice. On occasions I've gone to Rangeheart Hall, but I don't know him or anything. I'm pretty low on the totem. I make sure the scholars that I'm assigned to don't starve to death as they work on whatever it is that they're working on. I bring them books and food and tea and whatever supplies they require and hope they don't blow themselves up.
So where do you keep these stone records?
Well, they're everywhere. You don't pay attention?
What do you mean?
She just kind of shakes her head. Tourists are the worst, you know? Look at the foundations of the buildings when you walk by them. The pillars in the market, even the old stone brownstones of the whorehouses. You'll see that a lot of them still contain the old stories. Especially here, and she kind of makes a broad gesture to the area that you're in, which is becoming less of the straight up and down brownstones of Noble Garden and more sort of those wider mansions. This area is called Stone Alley. It's some of the oldest buildings here. Well, the oldest ones we can still access. You know, the Falaroon kind of hoard the oldest of the city. But even here, you can see in the stone work stories that have been inscribed, and they're like dwarven murals, and they stand the test of time, and even fire can wipe them out.
So I'll look, and are they actually? Is it actual dwarven lettering, or?
Yeah, if you go ahead and make a perception check because it is dark.
I have night goggles.
I know.
Put on my night goggles.
Good job. um, yeah, if you take a second to look, even as you're walking, looking down at the cobblestones, you can see there, not in every stone, but in stones here and there as you walk, there are small bits of dwarven lettering and what look like pictographs. And I mean, she's right. There are bits and pieces of what look to be like stories, both in word and picture form, carved everywhere if you pay attention.
That's really cool. I sort of stand for a moment looking at her through my goggles and wait for her to comment on my goggles.
She does. She says, "Those must have set you back, pretty penny."
No, I made them.
Oh. I didn't know they let mules touch the tools.
Well, that's kind of racist, don't you think?
She just laughs.
And on Muladan of all days.
And on Muladan of all days. So eventually you make your way to the mansion in question. And she seems pretty impressed with it too. She kind of touches the wrought iron gate a little bit, and but this is really beautiful.
I didn't make this.
She kind of laughed because I didn't think you did. This is really good work, though. She looks up. So that's the symbol you think?
Yeah.
And she takes a look at it. Well, I mean, you don't see a whole lot of dragon symbols around here. Pretty unique.
Dragon symbols.
Mm-hmm.
So is this in the shape of a dragon then, or?
Yeah, it's the same dragon face that Vochan scientists work
Okay,
with,
cool.
and that Davin has on his shield.
Right.
Yeah. So it's definitely not from one of the dwarven houses or anything. You need to get inside.
Are there any runes around the bottom of the wall there, or?
Oh yeah, not in the iron, but in the stone posts that hold the iron in place, as well as the sort of the line of border cobbles that are in front of the house. Yeah, there's little pictograms and pictures and little dwarven writing.
Anything interesting?
No, they don't seem to pertain to the house itself. They're not really identifiable or identifying markers, I should say. They just tell little snippets of dwarven myths and tales, little bits of lore holt, talking about the different paragons and things. Things you've heard before, like identifiable myths for you.
Okay. Well, so you don't know anything about this house?
Well, the symbol is familiar. Symbol of Vochan the artist.
Yeah.
This is probably his home.
He's dead though, isn't he?
Oh yes, by centuries. We do have some of his work. People are always surprised, and she seems to get more animated, like she's about to gear up on a rant that she's done before. People are really surprised when I talk about the arts in Lorehold, but we really do have quite a bit going on here. You know, we have our own art museums, we have some libraries open to the public, not many, but some, and we have bards and we have theater and literature.
I believe you. So if this guy died centuries ago, and this house has just been, I mean, someone would have moved in by now if someone wasn't already living here.
Oh, surely somebody would have moved in. Property here is way too precious. They wouldn't just let it sit like this.
Yeah. How would we find out who's currently the owner of this place?
Knock on the door? Like I said, the records aren't big in Lorehold. You could ask the neighbors, or find out who provides protection for the place. Someplace like this, they're paying somebody.
How would I go about doing that?
Ask.
Ask who?
Neighbors, the gangs themselves. Somebody who would know. Information's a commodity. You usually have to pay for it. I mean, this isn't Greylock. We don't have tax assessors and records of citizenship.
All right. Do you know where I could get some electrum changed into gold?
Oh, Money Changer could take care of that for you. Where did you get Electrum?
Treaty Woods.
That seems to be a satisfactory answer for everybody. Electrum would come from Treaty Woods. That makes perfect sense.
Was there anything else I wanted to ask, Gayle? I forget.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
You have an enslaved nerd.
Yeah. So you, given the opportunity to be free, you wouldn't take it?
Well, I'm practically free. I work for the Eye. It's maybe a different sort of employment arrangement, but it could be worse. It could be in the pits, it could be in the mines. It could be a lot of places.
If I think of something, would it be possible to talk to you again?
You could just send a messenger, and it'll go far.
You've been very helpful.
I'm glad you think so.
Alright, I'm just gonna, you want me to escort you home?
No, I can make my way. You
Okay.
might want to get a jump on your Muladan festivities.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right after, right after I'm done looking at these runes.
Well, enjoy. There's
Thanks.
a lot of them to look at.
Yeah.
She starts to head back the way you came, and Gayle shoots you another teenager look, and kind of runs after her a little bit, and kind of chats at her a little bit as she's walking away, and they get about half a block away before he turns and runs back to you, and just looks at you expectantly, like, well.
So how high is this wall around this place?
The fence?
Yeah.
It's about 12 foot. It ends in spikes, but they're spaced far enough apart that they could probably, I mean, they're certainly not impenetrable. It looks like they were there more for decoration than actual security. The gate is locked, though. Both when you touched it and Rana touched it, it didn't move, like it didn't open.
How crowded is the street?
It's not crowded. This is mostly a residential area, but you are within a block of the more populous noble garden areas. And
so further, like a block away, there's people milling around, but right
yeah,
there, not so much.
There's people milling around the street corners. There's actual, like street lights that are being tended to. There's it's not a big crowd, but there's a fairly steady stream of people milling about. You're okay where you are. There's enough darkness and enough solitude that you would be okay. Assuming nobody's watching the place. That's always a concern.
Right. I will do a perception check to see if I notice anyone
okay.
watching the place. Mother fucker.
Okay. Looks great.
Okay, I'll find the area of thickest shadows. If it's possible to go around the side and still.
You can. The nice thing about this area is that all of the houses, in addition to being sort of shorter and wider than the brownstone sections, they also have a little bit of that's the word I want, easement in between the properties.
Mhm.
So there's always like a little bit of green space before
Okay.
you get to the next mansion. So it is entirely possible to go all the way around this house.
I will go around so that I'm not visible from the street, basically,
Okay.
and it's shadowed and everything. Make
Okay.
sure that there are no windows in the mansion on either side of me, overlooking what I'm about to do.
Well, there are windows on both sides, both the
All
Vochan
right,
mansion
I'll make sure that
and
no
the
one's
other one.
looking out of the windows.
Yeah, there's no lights on. There's no lights on, but there are windows.
Okay, I'm gonna grapple up to the top of the thing,
Which thing?
the top of the fence.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, all right. That's hilarious. Okay, so you grapple and climb.
Oh, and I say, as I'm climbing, I say, "Oh, by the way, Gayle, just wait here." And I've got my night goggles on.
All right, so you left Gayle in the dark alleyway of
Wait,
Loreholt by
I
himself.
might need you. Never mind. I grapple back down, or I rappel back down. Grab my shoulders. We're going up.
All right. Gayle climbs on. So you still have to make a climb check. And you'll lose your advantage because you've got Gayle on your back.
All right. Athletics is +6. Come on, come on, come on. You can do this. Yeah!
Hey! So you usually get to the top of the fence to a safe spot where you can straddle without damaging anything important. You or Gayle. And can get over if you'd like.
Okay, we jump down.
Alright, so now you're in sort of this garden area with these slightly overgrown topiaries and again, sort of a miniature estate type of lawn. Make a stealth check. And actually, you both should make stealth checks.
With disadvantage, I guess.
Why?
Armor.
Oh, yeah, if you've got your armor on, then absolutely. It didn't matter anyway.
No.
Okay. Alright. Now what?
We creep up to the mansion.
Okay.
I'm looking for any entrances that aren't the front door.
Alright. On the side, you don't. I mean, there's lots of windows, but they all seem shut.
Are they all like shutters or glass?
No, they're all glass. But they appear to have curtains on the inside that have been drawn.
None of them are broken?
Mm-mm. They all seem to be intact.
Can I tell what kind of condition the curtains are in?
I mean, you don't get, like, they're not big picture windows. They're fairly standard size, so you can only see so much. You don't see any holes or anything. They seem to be thick, whatever they are. They're not sheer at all. They seem to be pretty heavy.
So is it possible that there could be light inside, but the curtains are so awesome that they're not letting the light out?
It could be. It could be. You wouldn't have any way to know unless you found a window where the curtains were parted enough to let you look in, and so far you haven't found one.
Okay. I'll keep an eye on the windows to see if there are any cracks in the curtains that I can see here. I'll head around. I guess I'll circle around the back, and then if I don't see anything, I'll just keep circling around until I get back to the front.
Okay. Now on the back side, there is a small door. Small oak door, iron bands, that heads inside. There aren't as many windows in the back here. There's only one that you see as you sort of go around the corner. It too has some either heavy curtains or shutters on the inside. It's difficult to tell from this perspective. But there's a door. There's also a big trough-like basin that's empty, and towards the back, closer to the iron fence on the other side of the door, it might be like a compost pile or something. Looks like this might be their midden where they dump all their stuff.
I'll gently try the door.
Door is locked.
You know how to pick lock skill?
Well, of course I don't know how to pick locks. I'm a thief.
So is there like a backyard to this place? Or a back garden?
You don't see anything special growing back here. It's not wide enough for any of the big topiaries that are on the sides and the front, and you don't see any sort of utilitarian garden either. There's nobody growing vegetables or anything back here.
What's this backing onto? Like, is there just another mansion?
You can't truly see, even with your goggles on, it just seems to be space, so either there's a really big easement behind you, or it just backs out onto the mountains, and it's difficult to tell the mountains from the dark.
Right.
But you don't see another house immediately. You don't see lights. You don't see civilization. But could just be a really big expanse of backyard.
Yeah, I'll go around the other side before
Okay.
I do anything rash.
The other side, you have more of the topiaries. You have more of the shuttered/curtained windows. Still don't see any light. There is a house on this side as well, a neighboring house. It does have a second story as well, and there are lights on in some of those windows as you're facing them. So apparently they do have somebody living over there.
Okay. Sneak around to the front.
The front has a very, very wide sort of cobblestone entryway that leads up to the front area. There's a front porch with big stone columns, a big double front door, big arched front windows, maximum fanciness. The same topiaries that have begun to overgrow a little bit. The cobblestone walkway is lined with bushes that, again, also starting to overgrow a little bit. They're all flowered. Appear to be some form of rose. You're not real big on plants that you can't smoke. The entire porch has big flower boxes and everything, and there are smaller flower boxes by the arched windows in the front. It's pretty fancy.
I'll skulk up to the front door.
It's a massive, again, double door, big wooden thing, a huge stone lintel that goes around it, big stone doorway. Everything, the pillars, the lining of the door, the bricks around the windows, everything is heavily carved.
With what?
And very old stone. The same sort of pictographs that you saw in the street.
Okay.
Yeah, these stones appear to be, can't say original to Loreholt because that would be a very, very long time, but these are very old stones. These are clearly not freshly made or freshly crafted.
So, do any of these stories in these pictograms have anything to do with Vochan or Hammermere?
No. These are old dwarven stories. They're stories of the Paragrons. They're stories of the original herd. They're stories of the original clans. You can see on one pillar, there's the story of the first fire of Loreholt. The different warlords that came through. It's a mix of myth and history. But nothing specific about the Vochans themselves.
So this door is probably thick enough that I wouldn't hear anything through it if I stuck my ear
No
into it.
way.
Okay. I won't even bother. I'll go around to the back then.
Okay.
I'll stick my ear up to that door.
Do a perception check.
What the fuck?
You're just rolling like a champ. I
Gayle,
feel your pain.
Put your ear up to this door.
Okay. I remembered the post-it note. Haha.
Yay.
Yay. Alright, Gayle puts his ear to the door. It's like, I don't hear anything. Do you think people are home?
No, but maybe.
Well, is it no or is it maybe?
Well, it's no end, maybe. I don't know. I don't know everything, Gayle.
Isn't this your plan?
What plan?
My God. Kern would have a plan.
No, he wouldn't. Just shit on the doorstep.
Davin would have a plan.
It wouldn't be a good plan, though.
Davin makes good plans.
Like the time he held a razor up to a little gnome's neck.
Okay, he was a little upset that day. Alright, you made your point. What are we doing now?
I'm thinking either I'm going to break down the door or smash a window.
Can you break down the door?
I'd sort of push it a little bit harder to get a sense of how heavy it is.
It's fairly heavy, but it doesn't seem as thick as the front door. You could probably smash through, but it would make some serious noise.
Like it wouldn't just be like a kick. I would have to like bash it down with my mace or something.
Your mace would certainly be helpful, but you could probably do it with a few kicks. They'd have to be really solid kicks, though. You can't really see the hinges here, so you don't know exactly how strongly reinforced this thing is. And you don't know what it looks like on the inside either. If it's got any kind of bar or anything like that, it's going to be tough. Locks aren't your specialty.
I think we're going to have to smash a window. That'll be quieter, I think.
Oh, God.
So,
what if this place is protected?
And we'll run.
We're not all hasted. God.
So, are there any ground level windows?
Oh yeah. There's ground level windows going all the way around. Now here on the back side, like I said, there's just the one as you were coming across or coming around the corner before you got to the door. So it's about 10 foot from the door, and there was another one to the far end before you turn the corner into the side yard. And those are the only windows here on the back. But there were lots of windows in both the front and on both sides.
Alright, I'll find a modest looking window around the back if I can.
Okay, well, so you only got two on the back, so you got the one 10 foot away or the one on the far side?
Which looks most modest. I don't want to burst into like a crowd.
They all look the same, other than the massive windows in front.
Okay.
The rest of the windows on the ground floor all look about the same. They're all just standard square glass windows.
Pick a window, Gayle.
I don't want to pick a window.
There's only two to pick from.
Well, then pick the closest window.
Alright. If this goes wrong, your fault now.
If this goes wrong, we're probably dead. What if he's in here? What if...
Well, then I don't know. Why are you saying we should knock first?
I don't know.
We could try knocking.
Oh, God.
Although it seems like we probably should have been on the street to knock. Did you see a bell pulled on the gate?
No.
Well, he wouldn't have heard us anyway. So, I don't know. It seems like if we knock, we're just admitting to having climbed over his fence. We might as well just smash a window.
I'm not... Okay.
You're not what?
I don't know. There just doesn't seem to be any... I don't know. I don't know what's worse, him being here, him not being here. Wasn't this place burglarized once?
By kobolds, so it must be easy to get in here.
Or somebody let them in? Because isn't it weird we've been skulking around the backyard and nobody stopped us?
That's why I think it's deserted.
Okay. I really hope it's deserted.
Yeah. Guess we'll find out.
Gosh. Okay.
Although he's probably going to hear it when I smash the window if he's home.
Yeah, probably.
So there's really no harm in knocking.
My gosh.
Alright, let's go around to the front before we commit to this.
Okay.
So I go around to the front
Okay.
and I knock on the door.
You knock on the big old door. And you wait for a sec. And there doesn't seem to be much of a response.
Okay. Back around to the back. No hesitation, drawing the mace as I walk. Smash!
Smash it! Roll.
Smashed it
Hey! Good at smashing. So you roll your damage as well, please. Thanks. So you smash not only the glass of the window, but you take a good chunk out of the wood that is just behind it. It's dark-colored wood, so it's kind of difficult to really see from the outside. But the windows on the back are shuttered over.
Oh.
But you manage to smash your way enough that you can put a hand through and flip the latch up. Doesn't take out the shutters entirely, but it punches a good-sized hole in them.
Okay.
God. We're gonna go to jail.
I'll go in and I'll help Gayle in after me.
God. They push off the wood of the shutters and climb through the window, bring Gayle with you.
No sign of any light yet?
No, the area that you're in is the same stone as the outside. It appears to be some sort of laundry/pantry type of room. It's fairly chilly. As there's no other windows, there's the door you can see, and it has a heavy iron bar across it on this side. So it would have been fairly tough to get through. But you don't see any people. There is another door that leads further into the house. It seemed kind of heavy oak door without the bar this time. Just seems to be an interior door. But this area has got some sort of foodstuffs crammed into the corner, bag of potatoes, bag of flour, that sort of thing. They're not molded over or anything, but nothing about this room screams, inhabited to you.
I'll grab a potato and give one to Gayle.
Why are you giving me a potato?
I'm hungry, aren't you?
I ate it at the pub with Rana.
Well, I'll take that then. I take back my potato.
Okay, take your potato. You better eat that because I don't think they feed people in the fighter pits.
Just hold on to my cloak. I'm not going to light a torch or anything. I'll just use my goggles to get around. So you're going to be a little bit blind.
Okay. I don't think I want to see this anyway. We're going to die.
Alright, so I'll open the door leading out of this room.
Okay. You walk into a kitchen / sort of servant's dining room sort of thing. Massive iron stoves, wood-burning stoves. There's a stack of wood in there. Stove's cold. Appears to have been cold for a while. There's no ashes that you can see, unfortunately. But big kitchen, farm-style sink, and a small-ish wooden table and chairs in the far corner. You can seat about 4 people. Just usual dinnerware and things on shelves above it. There is a door that leads, if you continue to go forward, leads further into the house, and then there is one off to your right as well. Both are shut.
I'll take the one to the right.
Okay. That opens into a formal style dining room. And this is fairly well apportioned, actually. It's got a really long, formal dining table. It's got chairs with like upholstered cushions to them. It's got a table runner on it. Everything's been set with actual coordinated place settings. They give you, much like Rana's holy symbol, they give the appearance of being gold, but if you look at them a little closer, they're probably closer to burnished copper. There's a candelabra set in the center of it. There's sideboards. Everything is very clean here, as opposed to the outside, which looks kind of run down. The inside seems to be pretty well kept, just dark. You just don't see anybody.
I'm going to stand very still for a second, do another perception check if I can.
Okay.
See if I hear anyone moving around. No?
Mm-mm.
Um,
And there's a door that leads out of here to the south.
was I on the south wall when I came in? Which is the rear wall?
No, you came in on the side wall.
I don't know which way the house is facing though, so south and side.
South would be towards the front door.
Okay.
You came in on the side wall, so you have the north wall off to your left. You got the east wall that you're facing, and then door on the south wall, which would lead you back toward. It would be the same wall that the south door in the kitchen was pointing to as well. They're both pointing towards the front door.
I'll open that door.
Okay. And now you appear to be in the great hall of the house. There's a wide expanse. Again, this is all original stone that matches the outside. Doesn't look like any of it's been changed. It's got decent furniture. There's sort of a parlor-esque setup just a little further down the wall from you. Nice little sofas and chairs. A fireplace with no fire in it. Rather than having a grand staircase, it looks like there might be a smaller curved staircase immediately to your left, sort of just kind of tucked into a corner. And the rest of the room is set up very similar to an art gallery. You can see the door that would have been the exit from the kitchen along the same wall where you're standing. And the rest of the room is effectively open. It's got massive area rugs. It's got a huge chandelier hanging from the center of it. There's a harp and a piano off to the far side. You can see the front door and the massive front windows. This was definitely set up as a place to hold a party. This is a huge area to dance and to entertain in. The walls are just covered in art and tapestries. No lights of any kind on, though.
Take a look at the art. Is it Vochan's art or?
Some of it. Yeah, there's 2 Vochan pieces in here. The rest are equally beautiful, but different artists.
So how many doors were leading out of here?
Just the front door, the door that you came out of, and the door that most likely leads back to the kitchen.
And there are stairs going up.
And then a small set of stairs leading up. Yeah, the rest of the room is just open space.
Okay. Up the stairs then.
Okay. Going up the small spiral staircase, when you hit the landing, not a whole lot of room up here. It looks like the hall runs sort of the back end of the house. It doesn't extend towards the front door. It all seems to run in the back. So it's almost hidden from view when you're downstairs. But there's at least 2 doors that you can see from your vantage point. One that's a little further down the hall, and then as the hall turns, there's another door shortly after the turn. The hallway does appear to continue on, so there might be more beyond. It's just super dark.
So the hallway goes one direction and then bends.
It goes forward, and then it turns
in
front of you.
So I'll go to the first door.
Okay. That door appears to be locked.
We'll try the next door.
This door is unlocked. It looks like somebody's office. There's a desk and massive chair. There's bookshelves, floor-to-ceiling bookshelves that line 2 walls. You see a window with heavy kind of velvet-style curtains, dark green curtains that cover it. There might have been a rug on the floor at one point. You can kind of see where the stones rubbed away in places where other bits of furniture might have been as well. And there's a hole in the floor.
A hole in the floor?
Mm-hmm. In the far corner, there is a square-shaped hole in the floor, carved into the stone.
Check that shit out. This is probably where the orb was.
It's a not a very deep hole. It's maybe about 1.5 feet deep, about the size of a bread box. And you can do a perception check.
Was the orb about the size of a bread box?
The orb was the size of a baseball.
Oh, okay, so smaller than a bread box, even.
Smaller than a bread box. Good perception check, especially for you.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't specialize in perception.
I don't know why you didn't specialize in charisma.
That's my second highest stat, actually. Well, tied for my second highest.
Anyway.
I'm like Mr. Average here.
That's good, though.
I'm not terrible at anything, but I'm not good at anything either.
You can see that there was probably a hatch or something that was over this at some point. You can see the connection points in the back where something was anchored into the stone, but it's not there anymore. And it's not quite soot, but there's definitely scorch marks in the stone.
Scorch marks. Kobolds can't breathe fire, can they?
Not usually. They do have sorcerers, but they don't. Most kobolds don't breathe fire naturally.
This is no magic zone, though.
Mm-hmm.
They could have had some kind of weird alchemy thing where they put out fire. I don't know.
And gunpowder does exist in Lorehold. Gunpowder is a thing.
Oh, okay, that's probably it then. Who sold the kobolds gunpowder, though?
Somebody real dumb.
I wonder if that's worth following up on. What would I learn from it, potentially?
He was the stupidest, most suicidal gunpowder dealer in all of Lorehold?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not sure where that would lead. Some idiot sold them gunpowder, yep.
Yeah, I gave him chromite, of course I did.
Okay, I'll just feel around inside there to see if there's anything more, like any kind of secret hidden compartment in the hidden compartment.
Alright.
Would that be investigation, or...?
Yeah, that would definitely be investigation. You can have advantage if Gale's helping you.
Yay.
You did bring him.
Oh yeah, Gayle
he's
holding onto my cloak, hopefully.
Okay. So with advantage, there isn't any other items left here. There's no secret switches or anything like that, but you can feel in the ridges of the stone that there was something solid in here, like a box. You can kind of feel where the corners of the box had scraped the stone enough that it had left grooves in the side. But there were also other things in here as well. It wasn't just the box. It seems like it was pushed with some force, as it was crowded in with other things. Because you don't feel the other two corners anywhere along the sides, just 2 on one side. So it must have been stuffed in here with enough other things that it jammed it up into one side. Quite a bit was taken out of this little cubby.
Alright, we should probably just keep doing a circuit of this place to make sure that no one's around before we start trashing the place. So we'll,
Are we trashing it?
well, I'm gonna search the office at some point. Not necessarily trash it, but
Yeah.
thoroughly investigate.
Thoroughly investigate. Thoroughly
Yeah.
investigate with quotation marks.
Yes.
Okay.
Not right this second though. I'll leave
Okay.
the room and go down around the bend of the hallway.
All right. Going around the bend of the hallway, there appears to be one more door before the hallway dead ends.
So this is, aside from the locked door, this is the last door I haven't been in. Inside.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. On the second story, there's one more door.
But there were no more doors on the ground floor either. Correct?
No, it was all open. There was the door that led to the kitchen. There was the door that led to the dining room that you came out of, and it looks like any other room or partition in the rest of the Great Hall had been removed. Like it had been cleared. There weren't even support pillars, which is odd for a room of that size. It had all been sort of cleared away to make space for this huge entertainment section.
Alright, I'll go to the last door then.
All right. Through the slight glare of your goggles, you can see light under this door as you approach it.
Oh shit. I will stick my ear next to it and motion for Gayle to do the same. See if we can hear anything inside.
All right, I give you advantage to your perception.
Yay!
Ooh, didn't even need it. There's definitely somebody moving around in there, but not very fast. You can sort of hear the clink of glass and sort of wood scraping on stone.
What was Davin's dad's name? Fergar?
Farragar Vochan.
So if we go back to the office and search it very quietly, is it likely that he'd be able to hear us? If we close the door behind ourselves too.
There's enough space that if you were super quiet, they may not hear you. But there's no guarantee. And you are in armor.
Yeah. I don't suppose Gayle knows how to strip me of armor stealthily.
There's no such thing.
No, and also then I'm not going to leave my armor behind. That'd be dumb.
And it would take some time.
Yeah. I'm just going to get some coffee. I'll be right back. How expensive was that window I smashed, do I think?
It wasn't super large. Glass is fairly expensive. I mean, it's kind of a middle class thing, but it's not priceless or anything. Like it can certainly be fixed.
Okay.
Or replaced.
Do I have enough money to, like, how much would it cost if I wanted to replace it, let's say?
Probably a gold piece or two for the work and the supplies, depending on who the owner went through. How much money do you have left?
Quite a bit still, but it's going down fast.
Well, you're in Loreholt, man.
I've got 28 platinum pieces, though.
You're so
What?
bitching about that.
I shouldn't have told you that. Now everything's going to cost a platinum
No,
instead of a
it
gold.
doesn't. If you weren't such a damn tourist.
What do I have? That is cool. Oh wait, nothing.
But at least you know who's ever behind the door can't flash you in the face with magic.
Yeah. So did Gayle hear this guy moving around in there too?
Mm-hmm.
What's his reaction?
Well, he thinks you're gonna die. He's thought you were gonna die from the minute you guys entered the house. He's convinced you're gonna be arrested and be sent to the fighter pits. Like, no matter what course of action you take, he's pretty sure you're gonna be arrested.
Okay. I motioned for him to come back. We go back to the office.
Okay.
I close the door behind us.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Hmm.
You can't see in the dark.
Nope.
Are there any candles in here?
There doesn't seem to be a whole lot in here. There's some, like, there's the desk, but most of the furniture's been moved out. The books are still here, but that's about it.
Is there anything I could stick a torch in? Like if I lit a torch, is there any kind of sconce or something or?
There doesn't seem to be any sconces built into the walls. You could open the curtains.
Would that let light in?
It would let some light in.
Enough to search the place by?
It would, I mean, Gayle would be at a severe disadvantage. It would be dim light at best for him.
Okay. Well, these curtains must be pretty good because
Mm-hmm.
they didn't let in the light that that guy was making out.
Nope. No, they are very thick. They're velvet or velveteen, floor length, really heavy curtains. They were definitely designed to be blackout curtains. And they're much wider and much taller than the actual windows that they cover.
Okay. This is the plan. Is there anything I could stuff underneath the door so that light doesn't get out?
No, not unless you want to rip a book up. Or use your cloak.
Yeah, I could use my cloak. Oh, wait, I have it in my pack. I have an explorer's pack.
Yes, you do.
What's in there? Is there a blanket in there?
It's usually a bedroll.
Okay, can I take out my bedroll and...
Stuff it under the door.
Why? That's dumb. The bedroll is probably worth more than this cloak.
Yeah,
This
your
cloak.
bedroll is definitely worth more than
Okay,
that cloak.
I'll just the cloak then. Okay, so I'll take off the cloak.
Okay.
I'll stuff it under the door.
Okay.
I'll take a torch, light it. Try to sort of prop it up between books or something like that.
You're gonna take a lit torch in a room with no ventilation, closed window, and prop it up between two books.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's not like gonna give off that much smoke, is it?
It's an open torch. And, books are flammable. If you want to do it, I won't stop you. You just admonished Gayle to remind you if you were doing things that were silly. He might have an issue with this plan.
Okay, well I stopped short of lighting the torch.
You could always use the hole in the stone as a sconce.
In the floor, you mean?
Yeah.
Alright, I do that.
Okay. You still have a smoke problem, but at least it won't burn any books.
So, you search this place, I say. If I search it, I'm just gonna clank around and probably alert that guy. I'm gonna leave. Once I do, shove my cloak back underneath this door so the light doesn't get out. you hear any sounds of like panic or anything like that, put the torch out, and as soon as you can, get the fuck out of here. Here, I give him my grappling gun.
He gets the grappling gun.
I want
Yeah.
that back.
Well, I don't know. You might just leave with it. What am I looking for?
Anything, any information.
Well, their books are gonna have information.
Pardon?
Their books are gonna have information.
Well, interesting information, like anything about Fergar Vochan or Amramarin or the Dragon Orb or where this house is from or like who owns it or anything like that.
It's gonna take a while. Okay. He starts bringing books over, just grabs a stack and walks him over to where the torch is, sits next to it, and starts to sort of flip through them.
Okay, so I leave.
Okay.
I point to the cloak before I shut the door to make sure that he shoves it back under.
All right. And you can see after you leave and shut the door behind you, you can see the little dark kind of take over the crack underneath as the firelight slowly disappears. There might be some slight muttering in there, you're not sure.
Yeah, I go back to the door with the noises.
Okay.
I listen, still moving around.
Do a perception check. No advantage this time. Yeah, it's muffled, but it's still there.
Yeah, I go back. I check on Gayle.
Okay. He's still sitting. He kind of jumps as the door opens.
Let's see. Probably should have seen if I could crack the window open a little bit before I lit the torch.
Maybe.
What am I going to dose the torch in?
These are all excellent questions.
Was there some kind of pump in the basement? Or on the ground floor?
There was a sink, yeah.
What if the pipes make noise when I turn it on?
Oh, they probably will. Especially if they haven't been used in a while.
There were no ponds outside?
No, there was no pond. There were no water features outside. There was an empty trough in the backyard and a pump farm sink in the kitchen.
Bad plan. Barely even qualifies as a plan. Alright, enough of this skulking around. I'd say to Gayle, okay, remember. Hear anything that sounds really bad? Start running. It's like as soon as the noise has sort of died down again, get out this window and grapple down and get over the fence and get back to the inn. I paid for a room for the night.
Okay.
And then if you don't see me again, bye.
He just looks kind of dumbstruck at this entire conversation. Okay. Don't die.
So I go out, close the door, make sure he's put the cloak back.
Yep. Firelight gets blotted out.
I go back to the door with the noise again, and I pound on it 3 times, and I shout, Fergar Vochan, I bear a message from your son, Davin of Whitfeld.
And all the noises behind the door stop.
I open the door a crack.
You open the door?
Yeah.
Okay. Just a crack, though?
Yeah, I say, Farragar?
No! So as you sort of ease the door open, you can see the room inside is obviously lit, as noticed from the outside. Lit fairly well. There's at least 3 or 4 candles going on in here. From just what you can see in the crack, this appears to be a bedroom or a dressing room of some kind. You can see a wash basin nearby, and just at the edge of your perception on sort of the adjacent wall, what looks to be like an armoire or a dresser. You don't see anybody, though. And as you push the door, that clink of glass becomes a small crash of glass. And the subtle scrape of wood is a big clamor as something hits the floor. You hear feet scuttling inside.
But I don't see anything?
Not yet, no, because you only opened it a crack.
I probably should have led with this, but I come in peace. You have nothing to fear from me. Oh, wait. You're a fucking kobold, aren't you? I throw open the door.
So you throw open the door with maximum Xylund aplomb. And the room inside is very much a bedroom. There's a huge kind of 4-poster bed in there. At the end of the bed, there's a table, similar to a dining room table, with just one chair on the far side facing the door. All over the table, there are glasses and liquor bottles, decanters of various sizes, all having different colored liquids in them. Dinner plates have been stacked underneath it and sort of kicked off to one of the bed posts. Bed is completely unmade. The chair that was behind it has been knocked backwards onto the floor, and sort of pressing himself up against the far wall, up against the drapes, is a tall, younger looking elf. Again, elves in ages, difficult to tell. Male, fairly striking looking, with a gunpowder pistol in his hand he's got pointed at the door. In his other hand, he's got a glass of some liquid of some kind. His shirt and vest are completely disheveled. He's got one pants leg that's pulled up way too high. He's lost a boot somewhere. You don't see it immediately in the room, but he's certainly not wearing it. And both of his hands are shaking tremendously.
Are you alright, man?
And he's just trying to stare you down, and it looks like he tries to take a step forward, but not happening. And he ends up with like one elbow, the elbow with the glass in it, sort of bracing himself against the curtains. He doesn't move that pistol, though. Pistol's still pointing straight ahead.
Does it look like
a leaf, but it's pointed at you.
Does it look like he's scared or
Oh, he's terrified.
Okay.
He's absolutely terrified. He's trembling from head to foot, and he's trying to talk, like his mouth is working, but there's no sound coming out. Yeah, he's a mess.
Okay, I probably could have. That was not handled with as much diplomacy as it could have been. Are you Farragar?
He looks at you for a second and he blinks. No.
Oh, are you Orin?
I guess. Yeah, I mean, yes. Who are you, and why shouldn't I pull this trigger? He says in a completely different voice. Like, his voice is very trembly and very small, and then he comes out with that in a very, very actory tone of voice. Like, deepens it, strengthens it, and projects it across the room.
Well, I know I think I know your son. Or at least a relative of yours, probably. From Whitfeld. His name's Davin.
I mean, he's having a bit of an internal battle play across his face. Like, he doesn't want to take the gun off you, but he's still very interested in drinking whatever is in that glass.
Is that going to help you keep your form elvish rather than dragony?
I don't often ask this question, but have you been drinking?
No, because I can't mix drugs. I'm on brocaine.
Are you going to stand still?
For now. I mean, for how long are we talking?
I'd like a seat.
Oh yeah, we should both sit. Or
No.
I can stand though. I'll stand. I'll
You
just
stand.
stay right here. But you, yeah, by all means, feel free to sit.
He kind of drunk staggers his way forward.
I broke one of your windows, but I can pay for it, just so that we're all above board.
Why would you do that?
Because the door was locked.
Well, yeah. He puts the glass down, but not too far. It takes him a couple of attempts before he manages to connect, but he does get it down. And then he does kind of the same thing with the chair, but trying to pick it up while not taking his eyes off of you. So it's a bit of a farce watching this incredibly intoxicated elf gracefully and then failing to get this chair back up on all four legs so he can sit on it. But eventually he manages. It takes a minute, but he manages. He sits down, kind of rests his elbow with the gun hand on the table and starts to drink with his other hand.
What's he drinking?
It's brown liquid in a clear glass. I don't know. You didn't say.
But it's alcoholic, apparently.
Well, he appears to be under the influence.
Okay.
Heavily under the influence. Yeah, he looks like he's been on a bit of a bender.
I have some frog smoke. It might ease your nerves a bit.
Oh no, I'm happy. This is fine. So you broke the window, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that was rude.
So, you're Orin, then?
Yeah. It's me.
Does the name Amber Marin mean anything to you?
Is she the mother of my child?
No?
Then no.
So you do have a child?
According to you, I do.
Well, have you ever been to Whitfeld?
Nope.
Can I do an insight?
Yeah, go ahead. He clearly seems to be confused.
How old are you?
That's a rude question to ask a man in the world, isn't it? As he takes another drink.
I suppose.
You know, I've already been robbed once, so there's really nothing here to take.
Yeah, what did they take?
A bunch of stuff.
Valuable stuff?
I assume so.
And it was kobolds that did it?
Think so.
Yeah, sorry for calling you a kobold earlier. I thought maybe one of them was still cuddling around.
Alright, kobolds and Loreholt. Well, not up here. Yeah. Like, sometimes you see them down in the pits. You know, there's no bring them on in between fights. And they like do little acrobatics and stuff, and that's pretty funny, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. I personally prefer a much higher caliber of entertainment, but we can't all be discerning, I suppose.
Yeah, you seem like you are a lover of the theater.
It's my life.
I've heard good things about you. You know, what was her name? I'm pretty sure I know, but I just don't want to fuck it up.
Okay.
Stardrith?
No.
Well, she's apparently a big admirer of yours.
I have a lot of admirers. Comes with the territory.
From what I heard, though, you weren't in town, so I guess you've been laying low since the robbery, or
I'm not in town. I left.
where'd you go?
I don't know. I never tell me where I go. Very confusing.
What?
I go far off places and bring back art and stories, and then he points to the side table next to the bed, and there's a little lamp on there. It's got kind of a white color to it. Looks like it might be made out of coral or some other form of limestone. That came from Freyhaven. And he tugs on the comforter on the bed. And this came from the Ester Sea. You can imagine that. So I go, and I see all these beautiful places, and I meet all these amazing people, and then I come back and I bring me presents.
Who bring you two presents?
I bring me presents.
You said that they send you to all these places?
Well, I go, when I feel like it. But I don't tell me where I'm going.
Who don't tell you?
I don't tell me.
You don't tell yourself where you're going?
He takes another drink.
So do you remember going to these places?
Well, I tell me stories when I get back.
Okay. But do you actually remember going to these places, or do you just return? How many of you are there?
Well, there's kind of two. But in reality, there's zero. Kind of nods to himself as if that was a very profound statement. And he drinks again.
Is the other one a dragonborn?
He might be dragonborn, but he's definitely not dragonborn. And at this point, he's set down his gun. It's still pointed in your direction, but he set it down on the table so he can use his other hand to get a bottle.
What does this other you look like then? Like, do you see him, or is he like a voice in your head, or?
No, I see him. He lives here.
How is he you then? If he's separate from you.
Well, he is me, and I am him. Because that's the way it has to be.
You share the same body then?
No, we have very different bodies. I prefer mine, but he does okay with his.
Does he look like you?
No.
What does he look like?
He can look like me. He doesn't look like me. He's got scales some places.
What's that you're drinking there, buddy?
This is called mine.
Well, I don't want any. No, thank you. As I said, I am high on brocaine.
You can handle this anyway.
What's it do?
It gets you very, very, very drunk.
Are we cool? Do you mind if I come over there and take a sniff of it?
I don't know. I guess. You shouldn't drink it, though.
Don't worry. I won't drink it.
Okay.
So I
So
slowly go over there.
yes, yeah, he lets you. Like he's got a hand on the gun, but he's not picking it up. He's very interested in what's in his glass.
I bend low and take a whiff.
It is extraordinarily strong. It's got a very kind of fruit smell to it, like wine that's gone over. But it is definitely stronger than most anything you personally have ever smelled.
Stronger than potato ale, even?
Much stronger than potato ale. Not that potato ale has much of a smell to it, but
No.
yeah, this is extremely strong.
So you that was a no on the frog's mug.
No, that stuff is that's for peasants.
Well, I got a tiny bit of blood moss. That might bring the other you out to play.
No, I told you he was gone. He left. Very important errand.
Well, maybe we can bring him back.
Oh, that would be nice.
Here, how about you just smoke this?
You're gonna kill this man. I haven't had blood moss and I don't even know how long.
My last dose, my very last dose, so I hope you enjoy it. I'll take out my flute pipe and pack it in there.
Alright.
Offer it.
I'll smoke it. I'll definitely
Alright.
smoke it. I need to roll for him, but he'll
I will
definitely
silently mourn the
smoke
last
it.
of my blood moss.
Okay. So, oh, this poor dude. Alright. Well, he's still alive, thankfully.
Hey, Davin, I maybe killed your dad.
Maybe?
It was unclear.
Mistakes were made. Yeah, he smokes it. It doesn't seem to take effect, but it would be difficult to tell through all the alcohol right now, frankly. But he'll definitely smoke it. He seems a little calmer.
So,
Yeah.
explain to me again how this works. You live here with your
Mhm.
other self who has scales. You don't
Mhm.
share a body.
Mm-mm.
Occasionally he leaves town, which is what he's done now.
Mhm.
But you're still here.
Mhm.
So what's he off doing?
Nah. He said he had to do some stuff. That people were in danger. He always says people are in danger.
But eventually he'll come back
Mm.
and tell you stories and bring you shit.
Mhm.
And then what happens?
Well, and then he stays here.
And what do you do though? You just keep hanging out here drinking?
I am a performer. Thank you.
How come you can't perform when he's gone though?
Well, I mean, I can, I suppose. It's just not the same. I don't have his songs or his stories, you know? He writes all that stuff. I just sing it.
Wait, is this like a Mandarin situation? Like from Iron Man 3?
What?
Did you not see Iron Man 3?
Yes, I saw Iron Man 3. I don't think this dude saw Iron Man 3.
No, I'm not asking this dude.
I saw Iron Man 3. Ben Kingsley, yes.
Does he look like Ben Kingsley?
He does not look like Ben Kingsley, no. He looks like a, again, on the younger side, so maybe human age, mid to late 20s. If his clothes weren't in such shit condition, they would actually be pretty nice. He seems to be well dressed, or was, and very, very roguishly handsome elf. Like very stereotypical roguey kind of bard.
So when are you expecting the other you back?
I don't know. He never tells me when he's gonna come back. He seemed fairly distressed.
So when you say he writes all the stuff and sings the songs or whatever, does that mean that does he act through you, or does he just give you the shit to sing and say?
He gives me the shit to sing and say.
So he like writes plays and stuff like that?
He writes all types of things. He writes books, he writes plays, he writes songs, he writes stories. He's a very talented individual.
What's his name?
Told you.
What?
Well, he's Orin too.
Oh, right. How long have you lived here?
Well, I don't know.
Where'd you live before?
Woods. I always wanted to come to Loreholt, you know. Greylock's not a good place for me.
I'm from Greylock.
Well, then you know. Like, it's so hard.
Well, I've never been an elf in Greylock. Why is it hard?
Well, you try and just make an honest living, you know, singing in the streets, and you got guards and you know,
There are a lot of guards.
temple soldiers, and then you try and join the legitimate theater, but you know, it's really hard to get into, and everything is so censored, and just there's no freedom of expression, you know. It's just really hard. And then what's your other option? You know, all these little podunk inns and stuff that dot the landscape and stupid trade roads, or you could get really desperate and join one of those traveling dealies, but who wants to deal with that? You just got dirt and horse shit everywhere, and permanently smell like cow farts. It's bad. All of it's just bad. Different here a little bit. He kind of nods to himself in finality.
So, the other Orin is out traveling the land and gathering stories and writing and shit.
Uh-huh.
You just sort of lay low here, pretending so that people don't get confused.
Right. Yeah, because he can't be him when he's here. People wouldn't. I mean, I think he's a handsome fellow, but I know him. You know, like, I know him. Like, he's a friend. But he does look pretty weird.
But is he like an elf with scales, basically, or?
Kind of. He doesn't. Like, he's too tall, and he's not thin. You know.
Is he fat?
No, it's just. I mean, it's just one of those things where you look at him and he's not quite right.
Okay.
You know?
Well, see, that's the guy I'm looking for. That's the guy whose son I know.
Okay, so I don't have a son.
No, you're good. You're good. But
I don't need that right now, I'll tell you that.
would it be possible for me to just sort of hang out here and like I say, I got drugs. We could have a pretty good time, and just wait for wait for this other you to show up, at least for a couple days. And because like I say, I'm high on brocaine. I'm gonna crash pretty soon, and I need somewhere to stay. And I've got lots of frogs, Mike. You can just help yourself to that. I'll lay it out for you.
I told you that shit's for peasants.
Well, I need to get more blood moss anyway. Do you know a place in town where I could get blood moss? Since you can't go out.
Yes. I mean, okay, I could go out. I could if I wanted to. But when the little bastards broke in, they took all the money. All of it. And other me only had so much, you know. Because he sends it to everybody in creation.
Well, he sent some of it to Davin's mom.
Well, good for Davin's mum, but that doesn't keep me in blood, moss, and liquor now, does it?
No. So here's what I propose. You let me crash here. When I wake up, I get the window fixed. I procure us some blood moss, and then we get high for a couple days. And if I'll do some more investigating, maybe.
What are you investigating?
Well, it's complicated. It's a bunch of intertwined things. Part of it is this guy Davin, who I know, he's looking for his dad, who is the other you. And also, I'm on the trail of the stuff that got stolen from here.
You are?
Yeah, trying to find that and hopefully return it to its proper owner.
Well,
Eventually.
he said he knew where it went.
Oh, did he go after it?
Well, yeah, that's why he was so upset.
Well, did he say where he was going?
No, he just said that he had an idea and he didn't like it, but he thought it was the only way. But whatever was in his little thing just freaked him out. He went on. I mean, I never seen him that mad, but he's usually a pretty even dude. But he got really mad, and he said that he was going to take care of it, and he might have to sacrifice a few innocent people. And he wrote a bunch of letters, and he said something about going to see his sister. And he's got armor. Again. The only time I ever saw him do that.
Put on armor?
Yeah. Yeah. Serious shit. I mean, I knew he could fight and stuff because he would tell stories about that. You know, just between you and me, I kind of thought some of it was bullshit.
What kind of stories are these anyway?
All kinds of stories. He would talk about, just real penny novel kind of bullshit stuff. He would go and save villages, and he would wipe out bandits on the road, and he would sail on the sea and right wrongs, and he'd been to Hadal Sanctuary and met the High Priestess, and he tramped across the arid waste, and dude's really getting into it. His arms flailing.
So, does any of this... I don't want to interrupt you, but I just want to... In my mind, Xylund is trying to... he's keeping an eye out if any of these stories line up with what he's heard Davin saying about Jack Dangerous.
Well, I mean, some of Jack Dangerous stories were like that. Obviously, there was a lot of... there's a lot of pirate stories in Jack Dangerous, but that's kind of what Jack Dangerous was. It was penny novels, is what it is. It's all pulp adventure. So yeah, these would be very cliched stories, so they would match up with some of the tales that Davin had told about Jack Dangerous and the various books. But you haven't really read any of them, so it would be hard for you to match up detail for detail.
Is Davin's dad Jack Dangerous?
That would be hilarious.
Okay, here's the plan. I say, I crash. If you allow me to, are you going to remember any of this when you wake up?
I have a brain like a steel bear trap. If I could remember 12 verses of the High Paragons, I could remember this conversation.
How about you just write yourself a note before we both pass out?
Do you see paper?
Well, there's paper in the office over there.
Oh, I don't go in there.
What's in the locked room anyway?
It's his bedroom. I don't go in there either. I don't know why you want to stay here. We don't have any protection anymore. I couldn't afford it.
Who is protecting you anyway?
Oh, you'll know. And he leans forward on the table. He puts his glass down. He's super excited now. You'll never believe it. It's the fucking Falaroon. A Falaroon.
Oh, We pissed them off.
Oh, well, they don't protect anymore. The other Orin always said that it was good to have the Falarun because he could trade them in stuff and information rather than money, which is good because I don't have any money, but now I don't have any stuff either. But I never heard of Falarun protecting anybody. They usually just keep their little high asses over on the other side of the river, which is good. That's where they belong. But yeah, it was real creepy knowing that there were like Falarun scouts watching the house and I couldn't see where they were. Because if those suckers don't want to be found, you just don't find them.
Yeah, we ran into them.
You did?
Yep.
Was it cool?
Well, we almost died.
Yeah, that happens. They don't mess around. If they were here, you wouldn't have busted that window, I guarantee you that.
Okay, how about this? How about...
I love that you're continually trying to make deals with this incredibly intoxicated man.
I'll stay here and I'll protect the place. I have a companion. He's off in the office.
And you kind of stand. What? There's another one of you?
He's a shrimp. He's like a teenager. He's not like me.
Why
Don't
are you
worry.
traveling with a teenager?
He's chronicling my adventures.
Huh.
Kind of like
That sounds handy.
the same deal as what the other Orin gets up to.
Oh. That's probably expensive.
Well, it will be if he dies.
Yeah. Okay. He sits back down. I can see that. Do you want to stay and protect the place?
Well, for a little bit. Here's the plan. I forgot the plan already. Okay, I just need a place to crash for a few days. Or
Okay.
maybe just a day. We'll see. Once I wake up again, fix the window, get you some blood moss. Pick up some Jack Dangerous novels, see if they line up with the adventures of this of the other Orin from as far as you can tell. Have you read any Jack Dangerous novels?
Well, of course, I've totally read all of the Jack Dangerous novels.
Have you?
Yeah.
Are they at all like the other Orin's tales, or am I just barking up the wrong tree there?
He seems deeply confused. I don't think he knows how to answer that question.
Is that because you're deeply confused? Like, do you not understand what I'm asking?
No, I understand completely.
I'm just saying, like, you like when you were reading the Jack Dangerous novels and then listening to him tell his tales. Did you notice any similarities?
It's not really my genre. I like to read things, that are smart.
You just said you read them all.
I think maybe I was confused.
Okay, how about you keep drinking?
Okay.
Let's play a drinking game.
Okay.
I will play a drinking game with this dude. I will,
Alright.
I'm just gonna, like, he's drunk enough, he's not gonna realize I'm drinking water, or...
No, he's blitzed, and he's on blood moss now. So he is he's on another planet.
Okay, I want to get this guy to pass out, is my plan. So I want to...
Okay.
I want to play a drinking game and, get him to pass out without myself actually drinking anything.
Okay. There's no water in here.
No, but I'll just, I'll go over to the sideboard and grab a glass and go glug, 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 glug.
Okay.
And then come back. He's not even going to notice there's no liquid in it, probably.
Probably not. I'll roll a perception check on him just to be sure, but he is blitzed out of his mind. Do a deception for your. Well,
Was my glug 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 not good enough?
Well, I'll give you an option. You can do perception or you can do performance.
They are both equally shitty.
Well, then pick which one.
Do I get advantage for
No.
him being drunk?
He gets disadvantage for being drunk.
10.
Alright. You rolled a 10?
Yeah.
Okay. He hasn't seemed to notice.
Okay. So it's been a while since I played any drinking games, but I don't know. I make one up.
Okay.
He's not even gonna notice if the rules don't make any sense. I'm just gonna basically make up some bullshit and just like take another drink type deal.
You're basically playing Never Have I Ever.
Yeah.
With his drunk ass elf.
Yeah.
Eye on Blood Moss. Alright. So you banter back and forth with Never Have I Ever. During the course of the handful of questions that you get through, because it doesn't take very long, you learn that he has slept with more women than you have, that he can't actually read, and that Oren's not actually his real name. And then he passes out. On the table. Just...
Can't actually read.
Yep. He admits
Motherfucker.
that he can't actually read.
Well, he couldn't have written a note to himself. He can't. So he can't read the Jack Daniels novels. This guy is full of shit. Okay, well now that he's out, I poke him to make sure how out he is.
Oh, he's out. He's on another planet. He is out cold.
Okay, I go back to the office and poke my head in and see how Gayle's doing.
And Gayle is now surrounded by various piles of books of different heights. He clearly has some form of organization going on. You're not sure what the methodology is, but he has formulated one.
Okay, we're staying here tonight, Gayle.
We are?
I'm friends with the guy now. He's kind of an idiot, though.
What guy?
Oren, or not Oren. Not Bard. Not Oren the Bard.
Gayle just looks completely confused.
I'll bring you a candle. I go and grab a candle from the room.
Okay, good.
I'll take the torch.
It's starting to get pretty smoky
Yeah.
in there. Like he's sitting on the floor, so he's below the worst of it, but it's noticeably smoky.
So anyway, we don't have to worry. We should be cool as long as he remembers the conversation we had when he wakes up.
What if he doesn't? Is he armed?
Oh, he's got a gun.
Got a gun?
I should maybe take the... Well, but that would... Should probably take the gun.
You want to take the gun?
I'll leave it for now.
Okay.
But I'll take the torch and I'll go downstairs and put it out underneath the pump.
Okay. Yeah. And as prophesized, as you go to use the pump, it clearly has been a while since any water was drawn, and it does make quite a tremendous shudder as it kicks up. But it works.
Alright. I'll go back upstairs, poke my head in. Don't be alarmed by the noise. And I go over to bedroom with the locked door and smash it open.
Right. Roll an attack. And damage. Oof. So you about knock the door off its hinges. Just hanging by one, just sort of creaking in the breeze. But it's open. It's open. This is clearly not one that was bolted from the inside. Just has a standard lock to it. And it is indeed another bedroom. A little less opulent than the one that not Oren the Not Bard was in. a little scaled down, but all the furniture is here. It seems in good repair. It seems clean. The bed's made.
All right, I search the place.
Okay. There's a dresser. There's some side tables. There's some bookshelves with a few books on them. Nowhere near the amount that are in the library, though. There doesn't seem to be much personal here. There's little knickknacks and stuff on top of the dresser and on the various shelves that seem kind of touristy, almost like little bits of geode and little bits of storm glass, stuff that you don't normally see in Lorehold. Little gemstones and little knick-knacky kind of things. But there's no clothes in the dresser. There's no written correspondence of any kind anywhere. The books that are on the shelf don't appear to be anything important. Seem to be volumes of history. There's a book of love poems in there. Nothing that really seems overtly personal.
So I don't turn up anything in my...
You don't find anything handwritten. You don't find anything either directly made or directly sent to Bergar or anybody else. Like I said, the books are pretty basic, either non-fiction reference materials or books of poetry.
I'll go back to the office. Have you found anything yet? I say.
Well, there's a lot of different stuff here. Some of these volumes are actually pretty valuable. There's some first editions of some stuff in here. It would go for a fair price if you knew what you were looking for.
We're not going to burgle the place.
I wasn't suggesting that we would. I'm just saying that whoever busted in didn't think to take them.
Oh, gotcha. Well, they were kobolds.
Or the art downstairs. He just kind of rolls his eyes at you. There's a lot of reference works in here. Dictionaries of different languages, which is strange, I suppose. There's a lot of legal volumes here about Greylock law, court system.
Why?
I don't know. There's a couple history books on the actual history of Lorehold, and Gayle starts to flip through those in particular, sort of touches them, picks them up, flips through them. These were written by outsiders, you can definitely tell. I mean, they're not incorrect, but I'm sure Rana would have something to say about them. There's also a bunch of other stuff, books on art, books on poetry, a lot of poetry, a lot of fiction books, children's storybooks, and a lot of Jack Dangerous novels, and very random collection.
Okay. So... Okay, I'll go to the desk. Is there any kind of there's probably not like a writing pad, is there? Or...
There's actually no paper. There's no paper, there's no written correspondence. The desk has been cleared out. Totally cleared out.
Okay, I'm gonna search this room just for any I don't know, secret, like the desk and the everything, just for any kind of good place where he could have stashed his papers or whatever.
Okay. Roll an investigation. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh. You don't find any like secret switches or anything. It was. I mean, it's pretty clear that it has been cleared out in a hurry. You can see the indentations where the desk usually sits and where it's sitting now. The desk is slightly ajar. It yeah, it was either ransacked by the original burglars or it was cleared out very quickly by its owner. One of the two. And things that you wouldn't think somebody would take are gone. There's small indentations on both the desk and the bookshelves where little knick-knacky type of things would probably have sat.
Kind of seems like this guy's not coming back.
It looks like somebody picked up their keepsakes and split.
Okay, I will go over back to Nodoran's room
Okay.
and search that place.
Okay. As the elf snores heavily, his head resting on the table. This is a room that is very obviously lived in. As mentioned, he does have a variety of knickknacks. He has a very colorful bedspread on his bed. None of it really has a unifying theme. They appear to all just be a wild, random mishmash of stuff. His dresser is stuffed full of clothes, most of it middle class or higher, or at least giving the appearance of that. Very flashy, very much a performer's wardrobe. He's got a box full of very obviously costume jewelry that probably reads better from across the room than it does up close. He's got a wash basin and a table. He's got a whole groomer's kit, razor and comb, and he actually has a small silver-backed mirror.
Oh, he does. While I'm here, can I touch up my shave job?
Yes. Yes, you can touch up your shave job.
Right.
Yes, it's the first time you've actually seen yourself since your shave job. So you are able to clean yourself up a little bit using the mirror and the razor. But yeah, this is clearly somebody who values good things in life, and yeah, he has them all here in his room. Still haven't found his other boot though.
Pardon?
Still haven't found his other boot though. Like all his boots are in pairs except for the one he's wearing. He doesn't know where that other boot is.
Is that important though?
Just mentioning. You rolled an 18 on your investigation. Just here's your investigation.
I'll look under the bed. Is the boot there?
Okay. Looking under the bed, yes, his boot is there, along with crumpled up clothing. Most of it his, some of it definitely female, of various sizes. It seems to have been discarded either behind or underneath the bed. There are crumpled up sheets of paper under here, mixed in with the clothes and the empty glass bottles and various plates and cups and silverware and refuse.
I'll scoop up the crumpled up pieces of paper, see what they say.
Okay. A couple of them are crude but amusing pictures done by somebody with zero artistic ability. There are a few written in a very different hand, though. One that you would recognize from Ferrigar's journals and letters. He has a pretty distinctive handwriting. And they are actually letters written to Ori.
Oh.
That were never sent.
Well, let's take a look at those.
Okay.
What do they say?
There's only 2 of them. One of them is pleading with her to leave the mess in Murstone alone. And the other one is asking why she hasn't responded.
Because she is an undead weirdo. I'll fold those up and stick them in my pocket. Nothing else in here?
Nothing really. It's kind of a pigsty.
Okay, I'll carry the dude over to his bed, at least.
Okay. He's, I mean, especially for you, he's absolutely light as a feather. He's just a string bean of an elf. You put him to bed pretty easily. He's out cold.
Take off his boot and tuck him in.
Yep, he's gone. Pat him on the head. Good night, buddy. Yeah, he's done for.
I'll go back into the office and say, so from your so far perusal of this, do you think there's anything to be gained by spending any more time looking at this stuff?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's a weird collection, but whoever owned these books, it's not like they made notes or anything in them, you know? They didn't.
Right.
There's no underlined passages, there's no bookmarks even, no dog-eared pages.
Are they just basically collector's editions kind of deal, or?
I guess. It's kind of weird that they're not in order. Like the reference books I can understand. He appeared to only take the books that were important, you know. But even the fictional stuff, like the Jack Dangerous, it's a series, right? It's a serial. It goes in order. But these don't. They're different. There's big gaps in between the one that he owns, and collectors usually buy in order, you know? Especially if they're going to shell out this kind of money. They usually buy a certain series, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these are just all over the map. They're not even coherent arcs or anything.
Were there gaps on the shelves as if he took some of them with him, or is there just gaps in the collection?
There's just gaps in the collections. It doesn't look like he took anything out of here.
Alright, we'll make a note of which ones he does have of the Jack Dangerous books.
Okay.
And what order they were in.
Okay. Gale's rubbing his eyes.
Yeah, I think we're going to not stay here tonight. Your point about the gun was well made. I'm not really sure what we can expect from this guy in the morning, or if there's anything more to be gained from him. He's, like I say, he's an idiot. I think this has been a dead end.
Really?
Well, we've learned some stuff, but I'm not sure how it gets us any closer to anything.
We broke into this man's house for nothing.
Well, I mean, we'll go back to the inn. I will probably crash for I'm not sure how long. When I get up, I'll send like a repair dude here to fix the window and the door. And I guess then we'll leave.
Okay.
I did promise the guy some blood moss.
Gale just shakes his head and rolls his eyes.
Well, I mean, it's Lorehold. This is probably.
I'm not saying you can't find it. I'm just.
All right. Yeah, let's tidy up, I guess, and get going.
Okay.
So
He starts to shelve the books again.
I'll try to straighten the door that I smashed so that is not immediately obvious that it's
Oh, you could
smashed.
swing it back so that it is closed and it's back in its doorway. But yeah, anyone who opens it, it's just gonna.
Okay, so we'll go back to the dragon's damsel.
Okay. Are you gonna just let yourself out the proper way then? Just unlatch the front door and
Oh,
unlatch
that
the gate?
reminds me. We're gonna go out the front door. Or wait, no, we're not. We'll go back out the way we came, back out the window.
Okay.
Circle around to the front door. And on the front door in charcoal, I want to write, Limpy was here.
Okay.
Just in case the other crew manages to make it here. I want to confuse them.
Okay. All right.
Pardon?
I'm making a note of that. Gotta remember. All right. So you make your way back down the steps.
Then we'll grapple our way over the fence.
Do your grapple. Gayle gives you your gun back. Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Climb check.
Yay!
Hey! Most successful thing done
Yeah.
this entire session. So yeah, you make it over the fence just fine. Got your grapple guns all reloaded, and you're back out. And you are definitely starting to feel the effects drain. Like your limbs are feeling super heavy. You're starting to definitely get worn down.
I might have to lean on you a bit, Gayle.
His eyes get a little wide as he contemplates the physics of that. Well, it's a walk back to the inn. Think you're gonna make it?
I'll make it.
Okay. You guys kind of follow the same path back out of Noble Garden that you did to get there. Being propositioned along the way, of course. Politely, classily propositioned along the way. Gayle just keeping his head down. Please God, don't let Silent say anything. Please God, don't let Silent say anything.
He'll be happy to know that my current plans don't include the whorehouse.
I don't think you'd be any use to a whorehouse in your current position. I think it'd be a waste of money, frankly. So yeah, the two of you managed to wander your way back to the Dragon's Damsel. The pub has calmed down a little bit since it is getting on to about midnight. And they aren't closed, but the crowd has thinned out, you know. It's getting down to the more hardcore folks. But still open. You're greeted warmly by one of the tieflings. They look very similar. It's hard to tell which one. As Gayle kind of leads you up to your room, ignoring the ladies.
Oh, Gayle wanted a bath, I say to them. Do you guys have a bath?
Oh, of course. Yes, of course.
Okay, Gayle, once I crash, have a bath.
Okay. You should wipe that.
I'll do it when I wake up.
Your bed's gonna be a mess.
Not my problem, Gayle.
Okay. So you wander up to your room. Gayle kind of lingers around the door. Make sure you make it into bed. He's not gonna help you, but he's gonna make sure you make it that far. And then he goes to have his bath. Shuts the door on you. And you're all alone in your inn room. Feeling the waves of exhaustion wash over your brain, your body. Feel like you're made out of lead. Your brain's just Swiss cheese. Slump down. And you fall asleep. The darkest, most dreamless sleep you've ever had.
Yay! No dreams.
You want to stop there?
How long am I going to be out for?
I need you to actually roll a wisdom save and a wisdom save and a constitution check before I can answer that question. Okay, good. Okay.
That's good.
Less good. You will be out for 2 days.
2 fucking days?
Yes. You will be out for 2 days, but do a die 4, please.
2 days!
Okay. You have avoided developing a severe addiction to brocane.
Yay!
You will, however, be suffering through withdrawal.
Oh.
You have a temporary -3 to your Constitution score. That will that persists. That's how it works. That's how addiction works. You have the penalty for 3 days, and then you'll have another check. And depending on that check, it will either be partially restored, fully restored, or you'll actually have to go to a cleric to have it restored.
After 3 days, does that include the 2 days I'm about to spend
Yeah,
sleeping?
yeah. So you'll spend 2 of your 3 days sleeping, and then after another 24 hours, we'll do the check to see how much of it you get. But if you take brocane again, you have to re-roll. The -3 doesn't go away, and you have to re-roll to avoid addiction. If you take any other intoxicating substance, you have to re-roll the Constitution check to see if the withdrawal kicks in.
Just until I kick this -3 though?
Yeah, just until you get past the withdrawal symptoms. Once you're past the withdrawal symptoms, you're okay because you managed to clear enough wisdom saves to not develop an addiction. If you had developed an addiction, it'd be a whole different thing. The penalties would be a lot more severe, and you wouldn't have the saves to get past them. You would have to use, or those penalties would become permanent.
Yeesh. I mean, I feel like Sia could have been a bit more vocal in telling me not to take this stuff.
Would you have really listened?
No, but
She must have had faith in you. That's a really good wisdom save, too. Yeah, you're gonna be out for 2 days, and then hobbled for the 3rd day.
Alright. So yeah, I guess we better wait to see how much ground the others gain on me before we pick up again.
We can do that. While you're sleeping in the dragon's damsel.
Hopefully they don't come here. Although I'll be in my room, so they won't necessarily see
No,
me.
they won't know you're there.
They might run into Gayle. I didn't tell Gayle to pay for the inn with my gold. I guess he has gold. He can do that.
Yeah, he has money.
He'll be fine. Gayle will be fine.
Gayle lived here. Gayle lived here for a month. Gayle knows more people in Lorehold than you do.
Yeah, it's a good thing we came here and didn't crash at the Not Orin's place.
Why?
Because I don't trust Gayle with that guy. The guy would probably try to sleep with him or something.
You were the one propositioning the dude.
Oh, how so?
You were offering we can have a party?
Oh yeah.
Offering drugs, we can have a party. How is that not a proposition?
I didn't necessarily mean a sex party.
How do you think he understood it, though?
Well, I mean, Xylund would be open to that, but...
You know? Little coke and blood moss. Sexy time. Awesome. Alright. Xylund is passed the fuck out.
All right. So yeah, I guess we'll stop there.
Are you good with that?
Yeah. So how many things did I not figure out?
I don't know what you think you didn't figure out though.
Well, I just didn't get any closer to figuring out anything about the dragon art. Like I know more story stuff, that's for sure. Like I know how it all connects now, and I know that Fergar Vochan is on its trail, which I didn't know before, which is useful.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that he's up to something potentially really dangerous, which is useful knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I learned stuff. I just don't like from Xylund's point of view. It was kind of a wash because he wanted to be able to make his own dragon orb.
Well, that's a little tough. And that's kind of a thing where that information really wouldn't have been available here.
No.
For one, because Fergar isn't Amramaran.
Yeah.
He didn't make it, he didn't build it, he doesn't have the skills to replicate it, and by all accounts doesn't have the interest in replicating it. So yeah, he's not the person to go for that. If you wanted to recreate the dragon orb, your best bet would be Amramaran's notes, the majority of which would have been in her home. Or if Fergar does have access to any of her journals or something, that wouldn't be something he would leave behind. That would be something he would take with him.
Yeah, I didn't know he was clearing out for good when he left.
Well, no, of course you had no way to.
Yeah.
You had no way to know that. But
Right.
I mean, you did find out other information. You found out that, well, I mean, not Orin the Not Bard is a very unreliable narrator, but he did give you information.
Yeah.
I mean, not only just confirming that Fergar Vochan was alive, at least last time not Orin the Not Bard saw him, which was fairly recently because he said he didn't leave until after the burglary. So he has seen him, within 2-3 months' time.
Yeah.
You know that he took his armor and presumably his sword and shield with him. And you've seen his sword and he saw a shield other places.
Was that on the tomb in Feathers? And Davin left it behind, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. But you saw it there. You saw it in the conservatory.
He beat us to. So that was Ori's tomb, and he was leaving it to honor.
That was his dad's tomb.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Ori's body was under the vines. That's where she rose from.
Oh,
Technically,
yeah, right,
the tomb belongs to his dad, but he wouldn't have been able, unless he can control the vines as well, which you don't know if he can. He might not have been able to access Ori's body. He might not have even known it was there. You don't really know because you don't know what happened when he got there, but you know he was there before
us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.